And yes, I do have my fro out. It's so yeah. But yes, I'm gonna be talking about not NXT, WWE, and Riverdale. So first, I'm going to start it off with WWE, and then the ending, not trying to be funny, is gonna be a whole damn chony rant because I liked everything about the episode except for fucking Choni. I felt like Archie's storyline was going really good. I got really interested in Gladys and what the fuck she got going on. Veronica kind of annoyed me because it's like, bitch, what do you want to do? Do you want to be against your dad or do you want to be for your dad? Which one is it? I had no issues with Jughead for real in this character. Betty, I felt so bad for her. Alice, I want to fucking kill her. Same with Kevin. Polly, she's nuts. But it was a good episode in my opinion. For me, Riverdale is like my Glee. It doesn't matter how bad it gets. It's a guilty pleasure, so I'm going to continue to watch it and support it. And also, prayers to Luke Perry. He had a stroke, but it's been said that he's been responding to doctors and stuff, so it looks like things are gonna be okay. So, but just keep him in your prayers. Sorry, y'all. I like picking. I like doing this with my hair. It feels really good. um. So let's. Lord of mercy. Sorry, y'all. Um. All right. Let's get into Let's get into WWE because I'm gonna be talking about Trony a lot. Like I have at least a good 40 damn comments that I want to read about them. So, and they're long as hell too. So let's just get WWE on out the way. Okay. So, also, I did do a video about Elimination Chamber and Total Bellas and stuff, but it got deleted for some dumbass reason. So I'm just gonna give my quick review. Like the Elimination Chamber, I personally felt like the men's match was better. Congratulations, Sasha and Bailey. Still don't think they deserve it. Lola and some other dude on Ring the Bell did a review. I totally on Lola's side. But yeah, it was a good match. Whatever. I haven't been interested in Ronda or Becky. In all honesty, me personally, I'm more interested in Charlotte than anything in this feud. She's the one that's really honestly making me care about the feud. I feel like what Becky's doing is tired. I feel like what Ronda is doing is tired. And yeah. Charlotte is the only one giving me real character development, a real story, and not just a Stone Cold 2.0 that's going horribly fucking wrong and a bootleg Brock Lesnar. Like, no, it's not working. When it came to the Total Bellas episode, the past two episodes, I was on Nikki's side for sure. And the one where Brie was not trying to be funny, being lazy as hell and shit. I was on Nikki's side with that. Last episode, I did kind of feel bad for Brie because I felt like people did way too fucking much. And people were like, oh my gosh, she's making excuses and trying to make herself a victim. No. There's a difference between criticism and fucking hate. People were saying they hoped that her daughter got fucking raped because she entered some damn body. Please tell me when and where have that happened to anyone else. It's because she's a fucking Bella. She was not wrong about that. And I feel her. What the fuck do I have to do after 10 goddamn years in this company to make y'all accept me? What? And one of the girls were like, oh, well, they came in when it was about looks. So did fucking Trish Stratus and goddamn Lita. But they're fucking legends till this goddamn day. Stop using that as an excuse. Stop it. And I understand her point. But that's not a fucking excuse. Michelle McCool, Maurice, Eve Torres, fucking AJ, who else? Stacy Keibler, Sable. These are fucking legends. Okay? These are legends. They all came in during the Diva Search era. They all came in when it was based off looks. And guess what? I'm more interested in them than I am most of the fucking female roster the goddamn day. So, again, it doesn't matter if you came in for looks. If you can be built into a star, you're built into a star. It doesn't matter where the fuck you come from. And that's why I hate when people try to compare Eva Marie to the Bellas because she's pretty. Fuck that. Eva Marie does not give a shit about wrestling. She shows she didn't give a shit when she didn't train for 3 fucking years, but then expected them to be okay with her getting fucking special treatment. And then she wanted to be a female fucking rock, but then fucking failed, and that's why she's trying to come back to the WWE. Versus the Bellas, who spent 2 goddamn years in training instead of going directly to the fucking, instead of directly debuting like WWE wanted them to. The same Bellas who came back multiple times when they didn't need to. The same Bellas who wrestled who wrestled their whole fucking reign injured, who came back from a fucking baby. Those Bellas have proven that they fucking care about goddamn wrestling. Stop with that bullshit of, oh, they get hate because of looks. Fuck that. I don't give a damn what nobody says. No one wants ugly ass people on their fucking TV screen when you are a entertainment business. No one wants that. And if people say looks don't matter, you are a fucking liar and you're delusional as hell. You being talented is great, but you also need a look. A look helps plenty. There's a reason why Nikki Bella looks works. She got men wearing snapback sneaky shirts and want to walk around in a crop top and fucking shorts. Like, come on now, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Lita was around here making men want to wear thongs and shit. Like, let's not. A look is important in WWE. You being visibly okay to look at is important. Let's stop with that fucking delusion of looks don't matter. They absolutely fucking matter. They'll get you a little head. They'll get you a little far. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not play dumb here. I hate when people use that fucking excuse of, oh, they came here for looks. So did half the fucking women in WWE. Guess what? Half of them are still legends. The fuck's the problem? What's the problem? One of the biggest reasons AJ got so big was because she had the next door nerdy anime character look. Her look is what helped get her over with fucking smarks. Just like Nikki's look is what helped her get over with fucking reality TV. Like, can we not do that? Stop that. Stop it. It's annoying as hell. Stop it. Sorry, I just had to get that out there. I hate when people freaking do, oh, they came here for looks. Fuck that. Half the goddamn men would not be where they are if not for them being chiseled, muscle-bound meatheads. Stop it. Stop it. But yeah, that episode, in my opinion, really gave really great perspective on the hate that the Bellas really do get. And I've been a fan of wrestling since I was fucking 3 years old. And I've been a fan of the Bellas since Diva Search 2006. So I've been there with the Bellas, probably one of their only day one fans. And I've seen the hate they've gotten since day one. And I understand why Brie feels like, why the fuck can't they accept us, but they can accept every Tom, Dick, and Harry, when we've proven ourselves more often than not. I understand her. And I also understand Nikki going through the hate that she went through and finally being, you know, a female John, in the sense of, if I have to withstand the hate to help multiple women, then I'll do it. Because that's John's mentality also. But yeah, I thought it was 2 really good episodes, but I was on Nikki's side in the first one, but I did kind of feel bad about Brie in the second one. Now, let's get into these comments. Oh, someone reminded people on Instagram that this Becky storyline isn't anything new. Trish Stratus did it. Lita did it. More recently, Brie did it. And she had a direct storyline with Stephanie. She had a direct match with Stephanie. So, it's like, do you really, like, Nothing Becky's doing is new to me. Nothing Becky's doing is the man or Stone Cold to me. It's just they're trying to make her into something that she's not, and she doesn't even sell it well. So it's whatever. Um. On a site that I go to regularly, y'all know the one. Um. Sasha and Bailey's first title defense. And Sasha and Bailey fans were saying that this was going to be their bathroom break. So once again, the same people that claim to love women's wrestling and love women's evolution and all that are the same ones that literally, even when it's their faves, still treat them like they would a, I guess, so-called diva era match. Why? Because they still see them as that. They don't like them. They like the bandwagon effect. Just like how with Cena, it was fun to boo Cena, it's fun to love women's wrestling now. But they don't like it. They don't respect it, and it shows. Even when you're so-called a fan of Bailey, because they're facing two people that's been built up since, not trying to be funny, since after Evolution as a tag team, you're gonna do a bathroom break during their match? Like, not trying to be funny, I expected for Sasha and Bailey to defend the titles against Tamina and Nia first. Tamina and Nia have been built up as a dominant tag team since after Evolution. So at what point, and Sasha, even though I hoped and prayed that it wasn't going to be Sasha and Bailey, as soon as Sasha and Bailey won, I knew they were going to be women's tag champions. And I knew that their first obstacle was going to be Nia and Tamina. And then they were going to face, you know, a couple big people at WrestleMania. So, it's whatever. Okay. Someone said, one of mine, and this is pet peeves about wrestling, is, and this is strictly NXT, is how it used to be full of developing characters and you watch people grow as characters. And now Triple H just relies on heavy, big indie names to carry the stories and be whatever they were in the indies. And I totally agree with that. I totally see where they're coming from. NXT is supposed to be a developmental. You're supposed to be developing your character, your ring skills, your mic skills. You're supposed to be developing who you are as a WWE persona. And instead of keeping that element, he wants to rely on indie names. And it's hilarious how NXT fans are okay with that, but get mad at Vince for relying on his big names that he built up from the ground up, like Cena and Bellas and Rock and Stone Cold and Batista. They have an issue with that because they're part-timers, but they don't have an issue with basically Triple H bringing in indie people and not building up anyone else but them. So again, it's like, it's the hypocritical bullshit. Like, y'all just like what y'all like, and that's fine, but say that. Stop trying to be mad at something that you're okay with on the other end. Someone said long-standing WWE tradition. You know what else is a long-standing WWE tradition? Is Vince McMahon getting involved in story angles to help give guys a rub. Like it or not, Vince being involved makes this a higher profile story. He's not just a storyline figure like Kurt Angle or Paige. He is the authority figure, and everyone knows it. Sure, fire away to get more eyes on the story. Involve Vince. Also, if you don't trust WWE to tell the story right, why would you trust them to tell any story right? Wrestling is what it is. There are high times and there are low times. Last year was bad. So far, this year has been better. All I'm saying is getting that upset over one episode of SmackDown when we still got another one before Fastlane is ridiculous, which I agree with. Someone said it's the genius of the storyline in a sense. Convincing Smart that Charlotte got shoehorned in when its reality is much more likely Becky was the one who got added to make it a three-way. Going further to convince them all their stereotypes about Vince are true just adds to it when, if you trust rumors, Vince in reality is more of a Becky fan. Very true. And someone said 100% agree. Ronda versus Charlotte had probably been in the works since last year's WrestleMania until the punch to Becky's face, which is fucking true. And someone else says the original plans were always Ronda versus Charlotte and Becky versus Asuka, which is true. I'm so sick and tired of Becky fans acting like that wasn't the fucking plan. If not for Becky getting punched in the face by Nia, she wouldn't even be in the goddamn WrestleMania match. She wouldn't. She would not be nowhere near that damn main event. That main event was always going to have Ronda and Charlotte. Becky was the one that was at it, not the other way around. And someone said if Becky had never gotten punched by Nia, then she loses to Ronda at Survivor Series and Charlotte wins the Rumble. Becky lovers seem to forget Ronda versus Charlotte at WrestleMania 35 was always the plan. Because of Becky's great character work and face injuries, she's inserted herself into the WrestleMania main event she was not supposed to be in. The fact that people think it's Charlotte who's been shoehorned is hilarious. She was always going to be in this match, with or without Becky, which is true. And someone said, but the plan never changed. Charlotte's presence in the main event was never in jeopardy. Nia Jax prevented Becky from facing Ronda, but the WWE probably never wanted to replace Charlotte with Ronda. That was Meltzer speculating, who we know is always they're always wrong. If it wasn't for Nia, Becky would probably still be SmackDown Women's Champion right now and out of the main event, main event picture. Becky was going to go up against Asuka, and Asuka was going to win her first women's title at WrestleMania against Becky to counteract her losing her streak at WrestleMania last year against Charlotte. That was the plan. Why Becky fans seem to have fucking anesthesia when it comes to that is annoying as shit. So they found a compromise between what the company wanted and what most of the fans wanted by giving us both Becky and Charlotte in the main event. Becky says she felt like this women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's. And someone says she feels that way because she won it. First, there are some weird moments such as the Maria and Alicia Fox thing. Second, there were too many unknowns who might never make it to the main roster. And lastly, it was just too long. As a result, the replay value is very low. I've only watched it once and don't plan on watching it again. And I agree. And an interview came out the other day about Batista saying he feels like The Rock isn't a good actor. Isn't a great actor or doesn't great movies. And I do agree. Don't get me wrong, I like The Rock. He's a box office, no doubt about it. But the only great movies, in my personal opinion, that I've really been impressed with his actual acting ability is Hercules, The Scorpion King, The Game Plan, and the Fast and Furious. Even though he's playing himself in the Fast and Furious, I feel like he's playing his best version of himself. Everything else, I just felt like he's played The Rock. And he's good at playing The Rock. He's great at playing The Rock. But I don't think that's necessarily a great actor per se. Like Angela Bassett is a great actress. Tom Cruise is a great actor. I don't consider The Rock. Samuel Jackson is a great actor. I don't consider Taraji P. Henson is a great actress. Meryl Streep. I don't consider The Rock in that role. The Rock, in my opinion, is very similar to Mark Wahlberg, where he's great. He knows what his niche is, and he sticks with that because he's so good at it and he's so proven at it that he doesn't need to do anything else if he doesn't want to. And that's perfectly fine. Not Mark, sorry, Kevin. Kevin Hart. Better example because Mark Wahlberg actually has done different roles and been really great at them. And I feel the same way about like John Cena. John Cena, in my opinion, compared to The Rock, is the better actor because just in the last few years alone, we've seen John Cena be a Marine in a war, be a soldier protagonist in Bumblebee, be a dad in Blockers, be a real dad in Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2, be a drug dealer in Sisters, um Lord have mercy, what's the other one? Be a mm, be basically a wrestling type boyfriend in a train wreck, and he did amazing in all of them. He was a great actor in all of them, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a John Cena fan. I'm a Rock fan too. But his acting ability, in my opinion, is a lot more wider than The Rock, and he could do a lot more different avenues than The Rock. And that to me makes him a better actor. The Rock isn't bad. I'm not saying he's bad, but he knows his niche and sticks with it. John can do a lot of different things and be great at all of them. Both work because both are making hella money. John Cena has made hella money from the movies he's made these past few years. And The Rock, he's a proven fucking Hollywood A-list. So either way, they're both doing good, but they're both great at different things. And I don't feel like he was wrong in saying that. Dave is really good at what he does. But Dave is a lot like John. He could do multiple different avenues and multiple different characters and be good at all of them. But me personally, they're all doing good, so I don't give a damn. But yeah. And someone said, I love indie wrestling too, but people need to let it go once their favorites come to WWE. Indies, NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, completely different products. Jim is right about a lot, but it's also wrong. Same with Anissa, and I agree. Someone said TK just doesn't get it. Does she seriously think that the same person who doesn't get on TV should be in a match with Triple H and not bring Batista in? Come on, listen to the other people on the panel who obviously know more about wrestling and the history of WrestleMania. And I like TK, but sometimes her opinion be like, girl, what? But I actually do like the AfterBuzz Raw show. I tried to watch SmackDown. I tried to give it another chance, but I can't do it. Tom, he's just too much. I can't with them. I definitely prefer Raw better. And I love Jim. Love, love, love Jim. Love Evan. Someone said, let's make one thing clear here. If Becky main events WrestleMania, it's because of Ronda, not the other way around. Which I agree with. Becky fans need to stop acting like she was going to be in the main event without Ronda. She definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't. Someone said Becky was great last year. Ronda was great last year. This year, especially since the Royal Rumble, I haven't seen a single thing I've liked from either of them. I'm not denying that they had it. I'm saying they lost it. Whatever they both had going on has more than run its course, and I agree. I liked Ronda last year. I liked Becky last year, even though Becky was starting to get on my nerves last year. I liked both of them last year. Can't stand them this year. I don't know what the hell it is, but I just cannot get behind either of them this year. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the story. Maybe it's the way that the fans are. I don't know, but I can't. I've tried my hardest. Every time those two show up on my TV screen, I just want to fucking cringe. And I hate feeling like that because I am a women's wrestling fan, but I can't fake liking them. I can't do that. And I don't know what it is. They just don't do it for me anymore. I don't know. Hopefully they get it together because I want to be into their story by WrestleMania. But what they've been doing since January, no, it's not working. So that is my wrestling little review. At 25, 30 seconds, at 25 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm going to start talking about Riverdale. So, if you don't watch Riverdale, if you don't know what the fuck that is, just click off at 25 minutes and 30 seconds. Just for warning you. Also, let me put this out there. I'm not taking back my fucking opinion. I am a woman of color. I'm also bisexual, which means I am part of the LGBTQ. So, any Choni fans that don't like my damn opinion, y'all can fuck off. Because, yeah, I'm not going back and forth. I'm deleting comments. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not dealing with it. I said how I felt about the episode as a whole, but I am going to go on a Choni rant because this has annoyed me since the beginning of the fucking series. And since the beginning of Choni. And I've held it in for so long. I've supported the show, but I have to get this out, especially with what's going on with women and all that stuff now. I feel like I have an obligation to say how I really feel about the representation of the LGBTQ and a, not trying to be funny, an interracial relationship on this show. So, like I said before, it was a good episode. I've been liking the season so far. I'm a person that I don't go overboard when it comes to, oh, this show sucks, this show sucks. It's a guilty pleasure. It's another Glee for me. I don't care that it's bad. I love it. I'm going to continue to watch it. But I am going to go on a Choni rant. So, if you don't want to hear me not trying to be funny, go on a rant and rave about your faves, click off. I'm giving you a warning. I'm giving you a warning at 27 minutes and 40 seconds to click off my damn video if you don't want to hear me rave and rage about Choni. Because if I see any Choni fans in my comments talking shit and being extra, I'm deleting your ass. And I'm blocking you. So, just putting it out there. Alright, let's get into it. Someone said, because these are my feelings, basically. Other people have said this, but they basically sum up how I feel about Choni and how I've felt about Choni for the longest now. Someone said, all of this. And now we're going to get some bullshit from Tony about how she's done taking orders and standing on the sidelines, or some other cliche about backing Jughead. More ill-conceived ideas. Forget the fact that Tony never showed any interest in leadership. Went out of her way to recruit him when he wasn't interested, pressured him into believing he was responsible for their welfare time and time again. Never mind that he listens to the time she told him he was wrong or conceded leadership in the protests of the Pickens Park, or that she and the other serpents continue to turn to him for ideas time and time again. There's also the whole sacrifice himself to save them, but you know, whatever, girl power rolls eyes. Someone else said, and this is from like Tumblr, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, you know, all the big places where the big Riverdale fans are. These are from those places. And not trying to be funny, for the most part, not a lot of people are on board with this Choni storyline and the way that they were presented this past episode. Not a lot of people were. And the only people that I see really on board with it are Choni stans. They're the stans that feel like feminism is hating the other gender and putting down the other gender to lift up women. And that's not what feminism is, and that's why they like it. And the only Choni the only Choni fandom that I see really being okay with this is a couple on Instagram, and they're bashing Tony, not Cheryl, the one that really fucked up in the situation. They're bashing Tony for lashing out at Cheryl for fucking up situations multiple times and time again. And it's just a whole thing. Choni, especially Cheryl fans, are fucking ridiculous. It's like, oh my god, y'all are dumb as hell. Someone said, okay, but since when did Toni give a fuck about being queen? She literally was the one who kept going to Jughead for help, telling him he'd be a good in charge, that he had to change the serpent. She had full opportunity to do it herself, and she didn't. She put it on him, and now she wants to be queen. I mean, I wanted her to be the leader over Jughead since beginning. I never wanted Jughead to join the Serpents. But with everything that's happened, it makes no sense. None of her past actions match up to this. It's literally for the sake of fucking drama. She wants to be queen, and yet didn't put the Serpents before her high-driven heist. She wants to be queen, and yet she hasn't solved any of the Serpent problems. Jughead earned his title, nearly gave his life for it. Just because you're birthed into a role doesn't mean you're fit for it. If this is getting back activist Tony, then yeah, I agree, she should be queen. Let Tony get the hell out of the Serpents and have her rule. But so far, Tony's new self hasn't done shit for her people to be asking to be their leader. God, why couldn't this conversation have came up last season? Someone said Betty is the queen because King Jughead chooses who's queen. Betty has known Jug since they were kids. What the fuck does being a queen even mean? We haven't seen her do much when it comes to the Serpents. Tony wasn't the queen and had presumably been in the Serpents for years. Why would she be the queen now? They should just write the character off. They obviously have no real role for her if they have her gunning for another title. Someone said, why would she want to be queen? Does the queen do anything? And someone said, apparently they have a voice, so it'd be nice if they earned it rather than just being a side piece. I mean, no argument there, other than Betty being a side piece. I just meant that we haven't seen any indication that the Serpent Queen is all that important, especially since it didn't seem to exist until Jughead took the Serpents over. So it seems weird that Tony seems to want that position, which I agree with. Someone says, sadly, there are shippers who are happy and can't seem to see past the surface. To them, it's hell yes. This queer-friendly female gang led by two gays is going to be so much better than the hetero right dude who kicked an indigenous woman out of her own gang. Never mind that said indigenous woman pretty much pressured the hetero white dude into joining the gang. Never mind that she hooked up with the descendant of the man who slaughtered her people. Forget that they got kicked out for something petty and trivial than actual discrimination. Oh, and let's not forget the deal that she initially endangered and snitched on her non-judgmental family. Someone says Cheryl is like a badly written Santana, which I agree with. Like, don't get me wrong, Santana had her fucking issues. Lord have mercy, Santana had her damn Santana from Glee. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, by the way, I'm walking, because I'm about to eat. Santana from Glee had her fucking issues, and she was crazy, psycho, and selfish, and all that shit. But Santana knew when to back the fuck off, and she knew when and when wasn't the right time to do and say shit, for the most part. Or at least she learned. Cheryl, we haven't seen that. Cheryl is still the same stuck-up, snooty bitch from season 1. She hasn't changed at all. Hasn't changed not one fucking bit. And I'm in the kitchen, y'all. I'm about to make my lunch before I head into work in a couple hours. So you guys may see me going. Lord have mercy. You guys may see me going in and out of the camera, but I'm still here. What's up? Lord have mercy. So, the next one said, I went from wanting to give Choni a chance to outright despising the shit, all as a result of the sloppy and gross writing. Cheryl is a selfish and clueless, while Tony has gone from independent and outspoken to her cat girl. It's gross as fuck, especially considering the backstory which ties their families together. Cheryl's ancestors genocided Tony's ancestors. And the fact that they've more or less made the POC an accessory person of color, if you don't know, to and the blind follower of a white chick. That is an issue too, by the way. That is a big ass issue. Oh God. Okay. Alrighty. Which I do agree, that is a damn issue that needs to be addressed quick, fast, and in a hurry. Alright, y'all. I actually have to do something really, really fast, so I will be right back. Sorry, y'all. I have to do something really, really quick. Okay. And someone said Tony pressured Jug into being a serpent leader before he was even in the gang. Sometimes I hate this damn thing. Sorry, y'all. My thing's being dumb right now. Sorry, y'all. My thing is being ultra freaking stupid right now. But while it's being done, let me talk to y'all. I know I've been saying this for a while, but I will be actually starting women's match reviews. I want to start that on Sunday. So I will be starting that really, really soon. The main thing is that I've been working and my hours are like 10 to 12 hour shifts damn there. Multiple days a week. So like I don't really want to come home from a long ass shift and then, you know, have to do wrestling reviews, then watch Raw, then watch SmackDown and all that shit because it's just a lot. So, yeah. So, just wanted to let y'all know that they will be happening. It's a lot. So, give a girl a break. um, but since it's not being uh, dumb no more, let me get into. Okay, it's back together now. Okay. Um, she even unfairly put Sweet Pea's plan with the pipe bomb to fix on him. If she wants to be a leader, she should step up and lead by example and for once take accountability for her actions. She's lazy and expects a free ride off the success of others. She feels entitled to bitch and to constantly criticize others unless she wants to bone them and justifies it by playing the victim card. Jug offering her a place again was more than she deserved. And I do agree with that. I do agree that Cheryl does she does victimize herself a lot. I feel like Cheryl very much so does a lot of the times know what the hell she's doing, and I feel like she continues to do it because she knows that she's a oh my god, just freaking great. Hold on, guys, my phone's dying. I have to get my charger from upstairs, which is annoying as hell because I just charged my phone, but I have been talking for a good 40 minutes, so it's actually not that surprising. Okay. So you guys won't see me, but you'll still hear me. Alright, so. But yeah, I do totally agree with that comment. She does victimize herself a lot. And it is very freaking annoying. It very much so is. Someone said, Lord have mercy, sorry y'all. Whew, let me get a drink right quick. I've been doing a lot of stuff today, so. Okay. And someone said, claiming legacy as a reason to be a leader of a gang is hilarious. Probably 90% of the serpents are legacies. All their families are in the gang. Hell, Betty is a legacy. Her mother was a serpent. Tony. Jughead. If you want to be a serpent, you have to dedicate your life to this game. You'll lose your Northside friends. You'll lose your Northside girlfriend. You'll have to be willing to die for us, and you'll have to abide by the rules. I am a legacy, so I know. Hold on. Also, Tony, I have a Northside girlfriend now. She's rich. She does stuff for me, like blackmail colleges into giving me interviews, and she gives me things like a place to live and random people to form a gang with, and new fun experiences like robbing other rich people and keeping the cash even though she doesn't need it. Serpents don't know her. They can starve. I'm not sharing. Also, screw the rules. I mean, I say they're my family and they have been supportive, but you know, there are families and then there are families. I'm a legacy. I can shit on my family. That's basically, uh, God damn it. Sorry, y'all. Putting some guacamole on. Something right quick. But that was basically given. Mm, Alright. Hold on, y'all. I know I've been doing a lot this video, but I've been doing a lot today, period. So, alright. So, and you'll kind of see me, but I'm just gonna read off my little note things here. Also, Tony, I have shown no leadership skills or thus far any desire to lead. I have ignored the other members' dire circumstances and have not shared anything. I have followed my rich Northside girlfriend in actively endangering the gang. I want to be the serpent leader now. Gimme. I claim it because of legacy. You see how dumb that sounds? Tony in season 1 was clamoring for Jughead to damn near abandon his Northside roots, right? And yet, she now has a Northside girlfriend that's rich and can help out her so-called family, but she chooses not to. Hasn't done anything to help them out, but then wants to claim leadership because she's a legacy. Like, what? Tony, you sound stupid. And someone else brought this up, but Sweet Pea's done more as a leader than you have. So it's like, really? Someone else said, if you think feminism is having two teenage boys who have done nothing wrong get beat up by a bunch of bitches because their leader is a self-entitled backstabbing and unloyal bitch, then you need to brush up on feminism, which I do definitely agree with. Lord have mercy. Sorry, y'all. And this video will probably be over an hour, so just for warning you. At the start of the episode, we find out that the Serpents have lost 8 females. Jughead meets with Tony at Pops, where he tells her being in the Serpents is her birthright, and he liked her to reconsider being in the gang. Tony tells him to make me queen as she's a legacy. Jug says he can't do that. She's pressed because it's about Betty. She wants the opportunity to lead. And someone says some things. Some people just step up and show leadership and earned it. She wants Betty's role. Why? Betty was writing in papers and defending the Serpents and getting pig's blood thrown on her locker due to her defense of their leader back in season 1. Betty was the one that helped solve the mystery of the head with Jug. Betty's also a legacy and serpent by blood. And Jug sacrificed himself for that gang. He tried to keep them out of harm's way from the moment he joined. He fought his Northside besties on their behalf. He got them shelter with the Andrews when they didn't have homes. When the wire broke out, he was the one they called and ignored and made things worse, and he sacrificed his life damn there. When the tall boy situation happened, it was, what do we do, Jones? What do we do? And the pressure fell on him when Penny started threatening Betty and Cheryl was a loose cannon. That all fell on him to carry. When Jughead returned from helping Archie, it was Jug who cut the deal with V to get people working and money again. I could go on. Betty stays fixing everything and leading these cats. Shelter, food, money, personal sacrifice so all of them don't get injured. Yeah. And he's done that with the help and assist from Betty at times. Tony, girl, why are you qualified to be a leader? What have you done? How often? Step back off my girl who's stripped and has the bloodline and stays being an asset to that gang by her supportive Jug and isn't running game and sleeping in a mansion for fun while others starve, and definitely step off my mans. Thank you. Totally agree with that statement. Someone said that's your opinion, but Jughead earned that title. It had nothing to do with FP. It had everything to do with him offering himself as a sacrifice for every serpent. They didn't just slap a "Yay, I'm a king" sticker on him because of Daddy. He actually lived to see the love of his life again. And asked her to stand by his side because he trusts her and loves her. He's got the right to do that, and I haven't once seen Betty try to step on anyone's toes. I get it, Tony was born into this. She's a female, and on paper, it would look nice for her to be serpent royalty, but why is she exempt from earning that leadership? Which I agree with. And someone said, honestly, if using two girls to fight because the respectful boys won't fight back isn't the most Cheryl, I'm a female and a lesbian, hurt me and you're gonna be viewed as the homophobic, excessive, and sexist blossom thing ever. Which is true, because that's all Choni fans, especially, not even Choni, Cheryl fans are using as a defense for fucking Cheryl. So they're definitely not wrong in that regard. And someone said, someone said, why do Choni fans instantly call people homophobic, lesbiophobic, or racist for calling out their character flaws? Like, I don't agree with Cheryl from that clip, but it has nothing to do with her sexuality. We can dislike your face without being homophobic and racist. And like I said, I'm black, I'm a woman, I'm bisexual. I'm everything that Tony is. I have a fucking right to say and point out when her character does fucking dumb shit. She's not exempt from shit because she's a fucking LGBTQ. And that's the issue with Choni chippers. Because they're LGBTQ, they think that people can't say shit about their character flaws. LGBTQs aren't fucking perfect. We aren't. We are annoying. We are whiny. We are bitchy. And we are hypocritical. Guess what? Same as fucking heteros. We're not exempt from criticism. I see Choni fans being upset that the writers are making Cheryl and Tony have an argument. But I'm like, they've done that with every fucking couple though. Every couple isn't perfect. Every couple goes through ups and downs. Y'all want Tony to be portrayed as this perfect, always happy, always in love lesbian couple, and that's not fucking reality. It's not fucking reality. And it's like you don't want a good representation of the LGBTQ. You want a fucking perfect, happy rainbow bullshit ass representation. And it is annoying. Lord have mercy, that burger is good. Oh my god. Mm. But okay. And that worm. Yes, Cheryl, that worm that after being bullied by you for years opened his arms and willingly welcomed you into a community and family when you had none. All because he recognized and saw you taking care of your serpent girlfriend, despite the fact that you didn't do the serpent dance, haven't really helped the serpents, and excuse me, and as soon as we did something you didn't like, turn your back on us. And someone said, and this is about the pretty poisons. Someone said, I don't like them for many reasons. One, the show doesn't need any new gangs. Two, their whole setup is unearned and doesn't make sense. Three, they're making Cheryl look bad because she's exploiting the situation that was supposed to be an attempt to make things up for Tony to settle her grudges, to settle her own grudges, which she didn't even have before now. And four, I can't see any other way for this storyline to end that doesn't either be a filler or a serious derail of characters, which I can agree with. And someone said, what bothers me the most was the way the writers and official CW account were tweeting about them last night as if they're feminist icons. Like, nah, that ain't it. I agree that Tony and Cheryl do not have any common vision for what the gang is. I can't see Cheryl giving up control, especially not after this episode. She's too impulsive, something they foreshadowed with the hot dog mention in the first episode of this season. Once again, Tony has no type of leadership skills. None. And what bothers me the most is that the way I feel this storyline only ends two ways. Only ends two ways. Tony realizes she can't leave and does returns to the serpents, which I honestly think is a sad, gross message. Or she does step down and we have this gang hanging around doing what? I honestly wish Jughead had just started a council of inner circle serpents, which they basically had anyway, and then Tony could have had a voice in leadership. So, yeah. Someone said, and finally we come to Jughead. I didn't enjoy his story too much this episode, but again, nothing really progressed enough to comment on. I was bothered though that he was trying to fix what had happened with Tony and felt he was at fault for it. Like the girl messed up and was trying to power move him out of nowhere with the whole leadership thing in her own form of entitlement, and I feel like the show is trying to justify her anger, which I didn't like. Which I totally agree with. Someone said, I kind of agree with you as well. Though this episode made me less sympathetic to Tony. This may be a unpopular opinion, but I actually don't think Jughead is as bad of a leader as people make it seem like he is compared to last year. And he's not. In my opinion, Jughead, as a teenager, what he's done and what he's been through has been a very decent teenage gang leader. Mm. And someone said, last year he was more of a de facto leader. As people due to the due to the shenanigans of others. His big issues last year was the lack of foresight, and his decision making was pretty emotion based. This year, he seems far more strategic, and the only problem is they haven't given him much to do the exercise this shift aside from getting the Serpents all jobs and infiltrating the Gargoyle gang. I don't think he's a great leader either, mind you, just competent. He's the kind of leader the gang deserves, the Serpents, and by extent the Poisons. All seem to make up of people who like to strut around for ideas to solve their problems. And as bad as some of Jughead's ideas were in season 2, the end goals were ones the Teen Serpent supported. It's why I can't get behind the Tony for Serpent Queen. She went and got someone to clean up their mess, and once she got in relationship, she kind of left them high and dry. And now she's interested in leadership. What's her motivation behind Beyond Birthright? Which I do agree with. And someone else, so I have a hell of a lot more, but that's pretty much the consistency of it. I really, really do feel like Choni is not a good representation of the LGBTQ, and honestly, Kevin ain't either. Um, I can go on and on and on, but I felt like I did enough. So I will say that I am excited for next week's episode. I know that Cheryl and Tony will be having issues going forward. So I am excited for that because Cheryl and Tony are not the perfect couple. And Tony fans need to get it through their head that couples are not perfect and they have fights and they have dissension. And they have tension. Every major couple in the show has had that at least twice. So, yeah, but that's all I got for y'all. Hopefully I can get out a women's match review before Fastlane, but if not, you guys will get a Fastlane review from me. So